Hi, educated. How are you? I'm not doing anything. I just figured today, because I have that interview with Vicky tomorrow, I figured today we could just do a chill live. Hi, Harun. Am I saying your name right? Harun? Hey, Free Spirit. You guys can hear me, right? I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Oh, did you? I hope you enjoy my content. Yeah, I hope that you enjoy my content. Because I'm working hard, I'm trying to put out some good content. Oh, yeah, you can hear. Hi, AH. Hello, Antonio. Jephthah. Is that how you say your name, Jephthah? What do I think about Bernie Sanders? Okay, that's a good question. Oh, you found it on the per capita crime thing? What do I think about Bernie Sanders? Y'all just ignore my burn. It's healing, but it still looks crazy as hell. It's like scabbed over, but I refuse to pick the scab. Um, so Bernie Sanders, I feel like he is just there to split the vote. Like that man's never going to be president. At least I don't think he's going to be president. He's just too radical. And so I think a lot of these, I was saying the other day, it's like the presidential Special Olympics this year. It's like the short bus, all the short bus candidates have come out and they're hopping off the yellow bus to put their bid in for president. But I don't think any of these people have a chance. Yeah, the per capita thing, Haran, made a lot of people upset actually, because I did the crime stats video and I didn't do the per capita numbers. And then people, mainly white people and black people in denial were like, per capita, da da da. So I did the per capita stats and showed that black people are not the most violent. They're not committing the most violent crime. And then when I modified it uh, by income, because so many people were saying, well, it's because black people are poor that they're committing the most crime. It turned out that poor whites were even committing the most crime. So who on them? Hi, Frantonio. Oh, Haran is Arabic for Aaron. Really, Angel? How did you know that, Angel? That's so interesting that you even know that. Do you speak Arabic or is that just like something that you know? Hi, Summer Breeze. I like your name. That's a pretty name. Jephthah. I like your name. Is that your birth name? Because that's a good name. Hi, Ms. Buckner, whose first name I will never try to say because I'm not trying to butcher your name anymore. I think I've called you everything but your actual name. But 2019 is the year of me not tearing up your name. He raised 6 million in a day. Yeah, but $6 million is not a lot of money. And if he had some major money backing him, a rich person will cough up $6 million really quick. So I guess if you can buy your way into the presidency and he's got enough rich people who like him, maybe he could become president. Maybe so. Can I post my donation link? Oh no. Um, I'll try. I don't know my own donation link. Is that sad that I don't know my own stuff? I copy and paste it. I would rather, hold on. I'll post all the stuff that I normally post. Um, which is like, I can't. Damn it. Oh, I'll do it on my computer. I'll figure it out. Let me get back to the chat so I know what you guys are saying. Because now I can't see you guys. Where'd you go? Oh, here we go. All right. Yeah, it would help if I knew the donation link. Yeah. I'm sorry. Y'all, I'm a bad YouTuber. I forget to ask people to subscribe. I never mention my PayPal, my Patreon. I'm not exactly like a YouTube pro, but that's okay. I'll find it and I'll put it in there. It's somewhere. It's in some video somewhere and I'll find it. Okay, let me see. Let me get back to the chat. Oh, were you the educated smoker? That's dope. Oh, you speak Arabic, Angel? Dope. So did you learn it just like as a side language to learn? Or do you speak Arabic because your family speaks it? Like, is it your second language in your home? Or did you seek to speak Arabic? My eldest son speaks 5 languages, but Arabic is not one of them. And I was telling him that he really needed to learn Arabic. I think it's an important language to know. It's also really beautiful. It's beautifully written, and it reminds me of Hebrew, but Hebrew is like a disgusting kind of like, well, I don't want to call it disgusting, but like there's a lot of harshness and spit sounds involved in Hebrew, and Arabic is like a more melodic. Like they have similar intonations, but Arabic is almost like listening to music, and the writing is so beautiful. But I also think it's just an important language to learn on the strength that I hope that my burn isn't freaking you guys out. I'm so sorry. I told you guys I was baking bread and I burnt myself. I dropped the whole loaf of bread in the oven, and then I had a glove on, but the glove didn't come up that high, and the part of the oven that touched my arm when I was trying to pull out my loaf, that was it. So I will um, I'm putting my stuff in now. I'm going to try to. All right, there we go. There it is. It's all there. Okay, let's get back to the good stuff. What were you quoting me about, educated? Hi, extra little curls. Oh, that's so cute how you wrote that. Extra little curls. I like your name. I really, really do like your name. Yeah, I'm not impressed that Bernie raised 6 million in a day, y'all. I'm really not. Why is it that Americans always say that Black people are 13% of the population and commit 50% of crimes every time? Because if you say something enough, people will believe it. And also sometimes, I'm not saying this is the case with the crime stats, like that was just people misquoting. Because like I admit that of the violent crimes, the crimes that Black men mostly commit are assault and murder. But there are very, very few assaults and murders in the United States. Like if you look at the crime stats, there might be like 3,000, you know what I'm saying? um, Arrests of Black men for that crime in a whole year. So it's not like an epidemic when there are millions of us. But um, what I will say is that Black men tend to beef with other men. And so things that were never illegal before, like dueling with another man, basically, are crimes. And if men checking other men stop being a crime, then first of all, it would be a different kind of world, right? But second of all, Black men wouldn't be committing almost any crime. So I don't know. I think it's just people misquoting the stat, to be real with you, Haran. But I did a video on it, you guys. I did a video on the FBI crime statistics debunking that blacks commit the most crime, and I used the statistics and I cited my sources. Um, and so it's worth a watch. It was one of the early videos that I made when I started making YouTube videos. It might have been like my eighth or ninth video or something like that. I don't know. I'm saying that, but I don't know if that's the case. I'm just guessing. Judges 10, I'll have to read about it. There are names like that. Like Naphtali is another name. That's a really beautiful name in the Bible, but it's only mentioned like one time in the Bible. Oh, it's Haroon. Oh, thank you, Angel, for correcting me. It's Haroon. Okay, I'll stop calling you Haran and I'll call you Haroon. Thank you, Angel, for that. And I'll try to remember it because I might forget. This is why Ms. Buckner gets called Ms. Buckner, because somebody told me how to phonetically say her name and I can't remember it. And in my heart, I want to call her Nehemiah or Nehemiah or anything other than her actual name. Hi, K. Archie. Thank you so much. He weighs 200 million last time. Well, good for him. $200 million. It wasn't enough to get him elected, so he might need some more cash behind that. But there's obviously some money behind him, but I don't think those are from small donations. But Kevin, I haven't researched it, so I could be wrong. Yeah, Haroon. Oh, I remembered. I hope I'm remembering. Um, that's my intention. I like once a week. We've had a couple of these this week. I normally take them down. I don't take them down, but I make them so that if you don't have the link after it airs, you won't see it on my playlist. But I like to do these like once a week. I call them like chill with me sessions where we just have a chance to talk and do stuff like that. I'll probably even do like a call in just to have it open. Oh, I don't know how to list multiple things on my channel, Educated Smoker. I'm lucky I got the Patreon one up there. Like, you know how long it took me to do that? But I'll try to figure out how to do it. I only even got a Patreon because somebody told me to, y'all. And I got a Cash App because Nyla said it was a good idea. Because she had it and she was like, it was just easier. So I'm taking people's advice, but y'all, I don't really know how to make it accessible to anybody. So I apologize for that. Oh, the Victorian and Asian blend is everything nice. Oh, thank you so much, K. Archie. Yeah, I really like antique pieces. A lot of my antique pieces are not here, um, but I like opulence. I like opulence. I like big pieces, but not like a lot of pieces. So you see my candlesticks, can you guys see them, are really big. My couches are huge. We had to take off the back doors to bring them in, like the sliding doors. We had to remove them. Um, but I'm trying. I'm trying with my little decorating. I think I could be a better decorator. Jephthah, five what? Oh yeah, he speaks five languages. Uh-huh. He speaks my son speaks French. I know I'm behind in the comments. I'm sorry, you guys. For those of you who know me, you know I'm always behind in the comments. He speaks English, obviously, French, Spanish, Japanese, which was the first language that he learned. English, French, Spanish, Japanese, German, and he's also learning Russian. So I guess that's six. He lives in Japan right now. You speak and read Arabic, Anti-Crap? That's dope. You speak Spanish and Portuguese, Kevin? I think you'll easily learn French. That's what my son told me. He's like, once you learn a couple of the Romance languages, it's really easy to learn the other ones. Um, but you should learn Arabic because we always learn the Romance languages, but I think learning Asian languages is a good idea. So Chinese, Japanese, Chinese. I'm saying Chinese, but you know what I mean. Cantonese, or Mandarin. Oh, you're Muslim? Oh, you learned Somali too? Oh, wow. How many languages do you speak, Angel? Jepta, I agree. Hebrew is I know when somebody's speaking Hebrew. First of all, it sounds flippin' violent, okay? It sounds like you're mad and you have spit in your mouth. That's what Hebrew makes me think of. Growing up in San Francisco, I wish we could all talk to each other because I love to play like name that language because I'm telling you, I'm so good with accents because I'm used to hearing a lot of different accents. Yeah, I know, Kevin. I burnt the heck out of myself. I mean, that looks absolutely crazy. It looks crazy in real life too, not just on camera. So, do you can speak a little French, Spanish, Chinese, and Japanese? Yeah, I can speak a little Chinese. I can say wabudong, which means I don't understand. And I can say 请在说一次. Can you repeat that, please? That's Mandarin. So I can speak a little Mandarin. And I'm pretty comfortable with the intonations because I think Mandarin is hard to learn because sometimes it's uncomfortable to do the intonations, but I love it. So any chance I can, I'll just start speaking Mandarin. I'll be like, 请再说一次, and then they think I can really talk because the pronunciation is pretty on point, but I really don't know what they're talking about. I speak a little bit of Spanish, obviously. I feel like everybody from California speaks a little bit of Spanish. And I understand a lot of Spanish and I can read a lot of Spanish. Um, and I don't speak any French. I just know like French numbers, like un, deux, trois. That's the only thing that I know. Nothing else. Yeah, I agree, Kevin. They're not that hard to learn once you figure it out. Are Arabic names jam packed with noble meanings? My name is my names my name is a Greek name, actually. So I have a Greek French name, right? Because Irene is Greek and Yvette is French, and it means peaceful archer or archer of peace. Because Yvette, Irene means peace, and Yvette means archer. So I like my name. I think it's a beautiful name, and it's a family name that's been passed down for many generations. So I feel German is the ugliest language. But you know what's crazy about German is that you can understand a lot of stuff in German. Okay, I'm going to try to, while I'm talking to you guys, I'm going to try to multitask. And I'm going to just put my call in line up so that if you guys decide to call in, which there's no pressure, you do not have to call in. But if you guys decide to call in, you can, because I was trying this the other day and I couldn't figure it out. I'm not really good at it. You tried to learn Japanese, but you didn't stick with it, Kevin. You know, my little girls can speak a little bit of Japanese, um, and my youngest sons, only because when my eldest son was learning Japanese, before he went to Japan, he lived with us for a year. And he would, I think like, I think it goes, Oshaminasai, which is like good night or something like that. I might be saying it wrong. They can say it right. So they know like little phrases in Japanese that they picked up from him. I used to try to hire nannies that spoke foreign languages, but the nanny situation didn't really work for me because it turns out that I really don't like nannies. It's like hiring a surrogate mother, and I had to learn that the hard way. What does it took 2 years of Japanese in high school? Oh, really? That's so beautiful. Angel, I'm not even going to try to say that Japanese word because that is deep. That was like a long word. Hi, Shug. Sug. Is it Shug or Sug? I know there's no H, but sometimes, on YouTube, people, they write, they don't intend for it to be. I will allow you. I will allow that. Okay. I'm going to put the number in the chat. And then mods, you guys can just keep the number. And then if you guys decide to call in so we can practice it, then you can. But you don't really have to. You know what I mean? It's not like a rule. I won't hold you accountable if you don't do it. But if you do it, it will be helpful to me so that I can literally thank you, Toriano. I appreciate that. So that I can literally practice doing this. Because you guys called the other day, I couldn't even answer the phone. I mean, not the phone, it's not a phone, but I couldn't figure out what to do. So, oh, it comes from Sugar Man. Oh, that's so sweet. Your mom calls you that? That's really sweet. That is really, really sweet. You know what my mom calls me? Oh, well, she died of cancer, so she doesn't call me this anymore. Okay, if I tell you guys, wait. If I tell you guys, oh, wait, somebody's calling? Oh. Hello?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hello?
Hi, Irene, it's Kevin.
Oh, what's up, Kevin?
Hey, so I'm just wanting to try to make sure that you knew how to work the phone. I'm glad that you're learning how to operate it and everything. But yeah, I'm actually glad we're actually taking the time to talk about languages and stuff because that's actually one of my favorite things. I ever since I was a kid, I was always somebody who loved like the dictionary and stuff. I like to read the dictionary because I was interested in learning words, and I was kind of watching how it evolved to actually learning languages and all that type of stuff. And so that's kind of how I got into Spanish. I always was interested in Spanish, so I learned that started from my 10th grade year, and then I kind of continued on with that. I learned Portuguese probably about 3 years ago, and that's because I started connecting with a lot of Brazilians, and that's what ended up happening. I ended up just enjoying conversing in Portuguese, and that's how I ended up learning. So I'd always thought about learning French, and I started learning French last year, and I didn't stick with it. And I think recently I got connected with the Cameroonians who is forcing me to learn French. So I'm thinking like it's probably time to learn French at this point. But yeah, I've always been interested in just languages and stuff, and the Romance languages in particular is something that we all know. It's all rooted in Latin because Latin is always influencing us in one way or another. And I was even shocked at how much French. I mentioned in the chat how much French influences the English language along with German and other Latin languages and stuff. And I think some Arabic is in there. But in any case, yeah, I think that language for me is just like it's kind of like another way of just exploring life, and it's just fun to learn. I just think it's really great. I think it's just something that is worth exploring and trying to create with, and just to explore all the different meanings of words. I just loved it. I love words.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have a hard time. I can pick up languages really easy, and my accents are always really good when I try to speak them, but I've never had a passion for keeping at it. So I admire that my children study languages and they have such a love for it. And I think it's important too, just, because we are competing in a global world, and it's common in Europe, for example, for people to speak 5 or 6 languages on the average. So we just
Right.
to even compete, we need to do it.
Right, and even in Africa, they have multiple languages there because there's so many tribes, and so and with when you have the states, the countries, the colonized countries that I say, there's still like multiple tribes that are there. Like you have people like there's people who I talked to in Nigeria who don't not only know English, but they also know Yoruba and they know Hausa, and so they're versed in knowing how to communicate in those languages. Cameroonians they have their own languages along with French and then English. So like I think it was a lot of countries there are multiple languages to learn from, and I think that it's kind of disappointing. I think I said this one time when I was younger. It's kind of disappointing how we in America we don't really have that type of need. I guess because English is the primary language, and there's no need to learn when the primary language that you're using is something that everyone is always aspiring to learn. But there's a for me, I've learning that there's like an intelligence that comes with taking the opportunity to learn new words to actually to describe yourself in a different way besides just what you know, and to kind of just branch out and just it's like for me it's like learning a whole new world. I mean, when I talk to Portuguese people in Brazil and in Portuguese, it humbles me because it makes me have to learn from them. I think so often because we have this American mentality that America is supposed to be the top dog and everything, that people are supposed to come to us and learn from us, and we kind of like it when other people from other countries learn our language. That we're not really humble enough to start wanting to learn other people's language and just kind of explore the world through other people's eyes. And that's what language has really taught me. I really do have a thirst for it. I really do have a passion for it. And I think that people should do it a lot more often to get themselves out of their own boxes of what they think life should be, and just really just explore the world and really just kind of talk to people and talk to natives and just explore the world in their languages through their lens.
No, I totally agree with you. I think we are very spoiled in the United States, and everybody is kind of forced to pander to us. When we go places, we can pretty much count on somebody somewhere speaking English, especially in businesses, restaurants, hotels, things like that. But I agree with you. We have to compete, and as a people, we have to compete. And part of that is being able to speak their languages, being able to walk in a room because they're not going to expect that from us, and understand what's being said in the room. I think is essential.
Right. And for me, and like I said before, we're so used to learning Latin. I think I was talking with Angel and saying it's so cool that she knows Arabic. So I think I may end up trying to learn Arabic one day and really get a chance to see things and learn something completely different than the familiarity of the Romance languages. So I think that should be fun. But I'm going to go ahead and get off now because I already have somebody that's saying somebody had the wrap up button. So I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to see what everybody else has to say. Thanks for talking with me, Irene. I really appreciate it, and I love languages, so I had to jump in and say something in the call.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. And thank you for calling in so that I can practice this. Now, remember, last time I got the first person, and then I missed like 3 calls. So let's see how I do today. Let's see how I do.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll talk to you again, Kevin.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Kevin, yeah, nannies are like surrogate parents. That's what's real. So let's see. You were thinking about migrating to Texas, but the behavior of the police in the U.S., regardless of the location, is horrible in how they conduct themselves. I have not had a lot of bad run-ins with police. I'm going to be honest with you. In California, I've had one kind of negative run-in with police. They were just writing me a ticket, but they detained me while they were writing me a ticket for turning left onto Broadway in San Francisco. In an area like at the end of Chinatown, I turned onto Broadway, and you're not supposed to do that. And they literally put me in back of the police car and handcuffed me to write me a ticket. And in my whole life, that had never happened. And I was like, couldn't you just write the flipping ticket? Like, I'm actually in a dress and heels. I'm 5'2". Like, what am I going to do? But after I left California, I had a couple of seriously negative run-ins with police. One where I got arrested even, which was problematic. And I've told those stories before. I won't retell them, but I think it depends on where you are. I think that's what I've learned about police in the States. It depends on where you are. I think what kind of interactions with police you have, just to be honest. Hi, Darnell. Are you guys like writing in foreign languages in the chat? Okay, let's see. Oh, there's an incoming call. How do I not know this? Oh my gosh. I'm so bad. Okay, I'm sorry to whoever called. Yeah, Kevin is sweet. I really like him. I'm trying to read your comments. I feel like I skipped over all the comments. Oh, hey, Q Butter. You want to come up? I'm just talking. I'm not doing anything. I'll send you the link if you decide you want to come up. Now that I've seen you. Because I was really far behind in the chat. But I'm not talking about anything serious. I'm just chilling. Oh my gosh. Wait a second. Hold on, y'all. You know, my flipping computer is not plugged in. Oh, wait, somebody's calling. 702. Oh my gosh. Hello?
To accept, press 1.
Oh,
To send a voicemail, press 2. Oops, your caller just hung up. Press 2 to call.
Oh, the caller hung up. Shut the front door. I think that was a California call. Oh, it says I missed the call. Whoever called from 702, call back. Because I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I missed your call. Sorry, you guys. I'm like plugging my computer in. I'm sorry I missed your call. I tried to answer it. I'm sorry to the people who keep calling, whose calls I'm missing. Okay, let's try it again.
Call from.
Doriana TV.
To accept, press 1.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing all right. All right. This is Doriana.
What's up?
What's up? Yeah, I just saying that I appreciate what you guys are doing. You know, I like you guys' show, and whatever I can support, you know, I'll try to. You know, I think that when I first came into YouTube, I kind of got a bad rap because I went after a lot of people, but I'm just here to support. And I'm just here to be a fan. And I like you guys what you guys are doing. That's what I'm doing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and thank you for the support. I saw the super chat, and I appreciate that.
Matter of fact, I mean, I'm maybe become a Patreon too. I'm learning how to work that. It's weird because I'm looking at you and I'm hearing your voice, so it's not matching up. That's why it's kind of a delay.
Oh, is it weird?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to talk. When you were talking, I was waiting for you to talk.
Yeah, it's like that in Google Hangouts too. Like I know that when we're talking and the chat is moving, the chat is actually like a few seconds behind us.
Oh, did you set it up like that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's just weird when you're not looking at the Hangout and you're looking at the chat because we're talking in real time, but they're hearing us after the fact. Yeah.
I like what you guys are doing, man. You guys got a cool show. You know, I like the fact that you guys you personally are Christian and hold on to that because I know you get bashed a lot about that.
Yeah.
I feel like you get bashed unfairly. That's why I kind of support your channel. It's great to stand up against all of that and just say, hey, this is what I believe in, you know?
Yeah, thank you so much. That's true. Yeah, I get drugged for being Christian, but I'm not going to stop loving God over it, but I do want us to learn that we can interact with each other and not be divided over these things. And hopefully my loving nature will win all of you over now.
And no, it does. That's how we're supposed to do our example. We're supposed to win them over. That's exactly right.
True.
Our example, we're supposed to win them over.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool, though. And, my later, as I get to know you guys, so I know that nobody really knows who I am. A lot of stuff is going on in the parents' rights movement, and this is kind of like what I wanted to speak about. It's not today's subject, so on another time when we can, I like to speak about the parents' rights movement, because a lot of stuff is going on undercover in this country that we're trying to expose. There's 40,000 of us parents.
Oh, the parents' rights movement. Do you mean how they're trying to make children children of the state or children of the community instead of children of their parents?
Yes, actually, that's true. If you can't find any government paper that says that you're a parent, it says you're custodial.
I will get in on that conversation because I would love to bring forth laws, for example, CPS laws, things like that, that really relate to whether or not, and I have a video on this, you guys, how you can have your children navigate throughout the world without a birth certificate or social security card. Because if we looked at the laws, although you can be a guardian of a child, and parent does appear on a lot of forms and things like that, when we look at the actual statute, there are protections that you can put in place. Now, granted, the government violates, their own laws all the time, but all you can do is like do the work on your end to safeguard your children. So I would love to have that conversation, actually, because I feel really passionately about that. And I definitely have seen a move, especially if you send your child to public school, when you take your child to the hospital, things like that, you don't recognize that you then become the enemy, and the state ends up having control over your child, and you run the risk of losing your child every time they enter a school building. I'm sorry?
Excuse me, just try to go get a second opinion. They can take your child. Because I want to go get a second opinion, and they can take your child. I know parents right now have the child taken for going to get a second opinion.
Yes, that's so true. I always tell people the last hospital birth I had, I didn't want to do the little foot prick that they do. I don't immunize, and I didn't want to do the little foot prick. And she was like, if I didn't do it, I could leave, but the baby couldn't. And that was the last time I will ever give birth in a hospital. It's the last time I had a child inside of a hospital, because that stuck in my mind. And I was like, I will never, ever be violated that way again. Can you imagine just giving birth, and then like you're 24 hours out of giving birth and someone's already threatening you? And they can. And so I would love to have that conversation, because I think people have to be cognizant and aware when they enter these situations, when they send their kids to school, when they're walking into doctor's offices, and also provide some information. I have an excellent list of pediatricians and things like that, who are safe, what I would call safe pediatricians, where the parents are the authority and not the state.
Oh, that's cool. That is a resource.
Yeah.
That's a very good resource, because until you'll never know who you take your kid in, and you're like, no, I don't agree with that, and then your kid's gone. Gotta be gone, really. So, whatever, like I said, I'll get back with you. I'm going to go ahead and support your page now, too. And,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And
great talking to you.
Okay, it was nice talking to you as well.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye. And you guys, I just want to say on the tip of my Patreon, I don't have a lot of patrons right now, and we don't get a lot of money. The money that is on my Patreon, I show how many patrons I have, and I also show how much money I'm getting on Patreon. And I'm doing that because my goal in the Patreon is to take that money. I'd like to take like 50% of it, and for us to do something with it. I don't know, we could help a family, like send a food box. You know how they have farms that deliver food boxes to a Black family that has need. We could help support some of the causes overseas, like, send contributions to Black First Land First, or send contributions to Haiti. I don't know. I want to do something else, and I'm trying to build my Patreon subscribers up so that we can have some conversations that are private. Right now, I have so few patrons that when I try to organize everybody, it's hard. And I hate to do stuff and then it doesn't have a reach where it can be effectual. So anyway, everything on my Patreon is open to be seen, so that there's transparency there, so that if we, collectively put $200 into Patreon and we collectively pick a person that's getting that, you guys will see how much money Patreon is making. You guys, will collectively see like how we're doing this, screen share that we're ordering this, we're sending it to this person, that they received it, just to have transparency. I know that's not really what Patreon is for, but it was the only thing I could think to do to make me feel comfortable with having one. Yeah. So I don't know, but that's just, I just wanted to throw that out there because I don't talk about it much. And but I also recognize that like with the little patrons I have, I think we get like 50 something dollars or $60 a month. There's not a ton of stuff that we can do. And after Patreon takes their little fee, maybe it's 50 something dollars a month. So, but I'm hoping we can do more. You know what I mean? And because somebody was saying, they wish that we could support Haiti. They wish that we could support, like I said, Black First, Land First. They wish that we could get the word out more for this or that. So I don't know. We could be creative. I don't know what we could do. Have a meeting and set it up so that we can support people coming. Like whatever you guys think that we should do with that money, we would take a vote and that's what we would do. So my Patreon functions different than some other people's. It's more of an interactive thing where we can make that decision together. But right now we don't really have the representation or the cash to do very much. But but it's a work in progress, y'all. It's a work in progress. It could fall. I could totally like fail at this. And then that will just, you guys can make fun of me. But it's the goal, at least. It is the goal. Okay, let me see. I closed that and I didn't need to. I hope this is your, oh, no wonder. Okay, Q Butter. I was trying to email Q Butter, y'all. And I think one of my emails was closed. Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm multitasking. Okay, there we go. All right, let me look back at the chat so we can talk. I'm glad you guys could hear him. That's good to know. Oh, thank you, Soto, for putting the number in the chat. Hi, Nini baby. Peace and positive vibes to you too. Oh, how do you say your name? Nakrama? Nakrama? Is that how you say it? Nakrama? Thank you. Just so that I can Can you open the door, sister? Oh my gosh, I love him. That's my youngest son. This is what I was actually talking about today. All of my boys, but one of my boys looks just like me. Basically brown skin, big eyes. And then one of my boys doesn't look like me. And then the girls, y'all have seen my girls, you know what they look like. I'll send you a link, Sin. We're just hanging out. We're just chilling. So if you decide that you want to come up, you can. Uh-oh, hold on. You guys know I can't, why can I not multitask when it comes to like lives and emails and stuff like that? I see people, they'll like watch the chat, they'll be blocking people, they'll be like talking, they'll be like typing an article, they'll be editing all at one time. And I'm like, I can barely hold a conversation and send an email. Oh, you have another show tonight, Father Elder? You have a twin sister? Ah, dude, you have to come live when you're twin sister so I can see. Are you guys identical twins? Are you fraternal? Are you fraternal, but you look kind of alike? Oh, what am I saying? She's your twin sister. You guys are fraternal. Scratch that. Do you guys look alike, though? Because fraternal twins sometimes look alike, boys and girls. You know what? I think your twin sister, if she looks like you, will look like my cousin Candy. I have a cousin named Candy, and she has East Indian features too. And so I think if you have a twin sister, she would probably look a lot like my cousin Candy. Yeah, Kevin, they threatened not to let my baby out of the hospital, and that was the last hospital birth I ever had. I have always done really well. My children have always gone to Children's Hospital. I was the only parent there that wasn't immunizing at the time. I'm very careful. That's why I would love to have the conversation. That's why I think Toriano's onto something about that conversation of children being slowly moved out of the control of their parents to where the state actually is raising your children, because this is a serious thing, y'all. Like, if we don't get control over our government, they're doing the most in like multiple areas. Hi, solving the race problem. Peace to you too. Yeah, food boxes, Kevin. You know how like local farms, but like wholesome food. So like, you know how local farms, this is something I like to do. They will have like a food box. You can order like a small one or a large one, and they will put seasonal fruits and vegetables in them. I would love to do that. I would love to like adopt a few families and do like an every other week food box for them. Or if, you know, we can get up the funds, do a weekly food box for them and their family. I would love to do that. That would make me so happy. You just have no idea. Okay, hold on. Somebody's calling in. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not good at this. Hey, Sin.
Hey, Irene.
What's up?
Nothing, just was about to set up to make this really quick video, and wanted to see what you were doing. It's interesting though, with the vaccinations, because someone told me that they're next year is supposed to make it mandatory for all newborns to be vaccinated, regardless to even religion.
Really?
Mhm.
For premature babies?
No, just for all of them that are born, all newborns.
Oh, the babies, the baby
Mhm.
babies. Oh, see, this is all the more reason. And you guys who are interested in home births, I actually have a video on that because I was asked to do a video on home birth. You know, y'all, we lose when we walk into their spaces. It becomes like a real problem. Um, it becomes a real problem. So I'm interested because I know George said he was going to be doing a live on that. I'm interested in being a part of that because I've had a lot of experience having to like navigate the system, and I'm aware of their tricks too, because they like to give you this paper in some states where you sign when you don't immunize. But if you read the verbiage of the paper, it says that you know you're doing your child harm. You're essentially admitting to child abuse on the form. But what you can do, and that's what I think somebody was saying, I think George was maybe saying it, and I've done that too. And I've been meaning to put up on my Patreon my sample letter that I used for my children at Children's Hospital. You can amend their records according to HIPAA, and refuse to sign that document that the doctor offers you. So I think the immunization conversation would be good. And I think the conversation Toriana was talking about regarding just how the government is trying to co-opt your child and make the child the state's child and not your child. Those are two conversations I think really need to be had.
Yeah, my sister actually told me about that because she didn't get my nephew immunized, and she said that they did try to have her sign that form. I forgot what she told me she did to not sign it, but I think she wrote a letter. I think she did do the amended letter saying that she would get her son vaccinated only if they could ensure that nothing was going to happen to him, and if something did happen to him, they would assume all liability for all cost of any care that happened as a result of those immunizations. And they weren't willing to do that, so she didn't sign it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just refused to sign the form. Well, I let me be more honest. I'm a mother of many kids, right? So the first time they offered me the form, I was kind of taken aback and I signed it. And then I went and but I had, at the time, I had multiple kids in tow, a baby, all this stuff. And then when I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, what have I signed? And so I went to amend their medical record according to HIPAA for the kids I had signed it for. And ever since then, I've always used that letter as my template. And I was able to, and that's why I mentioned that my kids went to Children's Hospital, because that is a major hospital where my children did their pediatric care for many years, and I was able to navigate that system, even though I was the only parent not vaccinating. But I will say too that I have a great list of doctors who are friendly to families who don't vaccinate, like legitimate doctors. Not every doctor is on this vaccination bandwagon. And so I think taking your child somewhere where the presumption isn't that they ought to be vaccinated, or if you want to do a modified schedule, or if you want some and don't want others, and having a doctor that's open to that from jump, I think is the best thing you can do. The thing is that, insurance may not always cover that. That option doesn't always work for everybody. So then you have to know how to deal with these doctors that are basically, state hitmen, and how to keep your kids safe, and also know how they write in their records. So I can't wait to have that conversation because I think it's so important. I really think it's so important. I don't think people realize how important it is.
Well, it really is, especially when you do the research on vaccinations and how detrimental they are. I think that it is like people tend to trust so much, and I get it is because of, the conditioning and, the pressure that they put on you. And my sister said they do try to make you feel like you're setting your child up to die if you don't get your kid the vaccination. So I do think that is a discussion that should be had about the immunization, so people will know, just in case they don't want to get it, just what they'll, so they can know what they're in for, basically.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also, I can't wait to have the discussion too, because I want to talk about how you need to steer clear of talking points that they've been taught ignorant people use. And I'm not saying that the talking points are ignorant. I'm saying that doctors are taught you're ignorant if you use them. So you need to stay away from autism. You need to stay away from heavy metal arguments. And yeah, I can't wait to do it, because I'm gonna speak about talking points that are irrefutable. Things like, mass cellular death because of rendering the membranes leaky. Things like immunology being proven by antibodies for vaccination's sake, with no control study being used, but immunology being disproven when it comes to HIV and AIDS, meaning the presence of antibodies for HIV and AIDS proves you have the disease and you are infected, not immune to it. But they use that same logic to prove that vaccinations are providing immunology. It's just a very flawed system. So I could go on and on and on, because I'm like literally so like y'all just don't even know how passionate I am about this. but I will save that, for George's stream. But I'm really looking forward to that discussion. I'm glad that he's having it.
Yeah, especially for Black people, because we have a tendency to just believe whatever we're told and have blind faith. And that's a mistake, especially when it comes to putting chemicals in babies, because they give them vaccination cocktails where they're just pumping a bunch of these chemicals into a baby. I don't see how people do it, but they do it. So
yeah, Kay Archie, I will give you a wrench. I just have to find you. So if you could type something again, because it took me that long to even figure out where to go, like, and to get my computer to cooperate with like what I wanted to do with myself. Um, and Nyla, I sent you a link. I'm sorry, I didn't see you out there in case you want to come up. If you're not being dominated by the baby. Hello, Joe. That baby is so cute though. Like, she was living her best life the other night. I'm like, this baby has woken up and decided she is
Yeah,
going to hold
she
a
did.
conversation.
Yeah, the baby had a lot on her mind. She had to get off.
She did. That was so cute though. Hey, Nyla.
Hola.
Oh.
So cute.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, I tried taking a nap because, of being up early because when I jumped on your live stream early, I got up and I get insomnia sometimes. But I haven't been able to go back to sleep even though I'm really, really tired. And I want to make this video because this chick sent me some one of my subscribers, she sent me like some streams of some comments that was put on it. I'll probably just end up doing it tomorrow because I'm so tired. I'll probably just lay here, watch How to Get Away with Murder and fall asleep. But there were some really interesting comments that she sent me. And I wanted to kind of go over it, but I'm just tired, so I don't even feel like really doing it.
Oh, I feel that. I think tonight, what am I going to do tonight? I think tonight I'm going to cook dinner and sleep. I'm so tired. Ooh, y'all. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have a glass of Riesling because it's rare that I drink anything, but I got myself like a sweet Riesling. Are you laughing, Nyla?
Yeah, because that's what I was doing. I was wine shopping yesterday.
Oh, were
That
you
sounds
really?
good.
Because I need to. I I used to be a part of this club, and they actually got bought out by another company. And then the last couple of, I have my stuff pre-selected. They keep sending me. I like blended wines, but I don't like super dry wines. And they've been only sending me dry wines. So I gotta pull up my get me another supplier.
Mm.
But
Sometimes I
listen,
remember
you
they
guys were
had.
talking about the vaccinations, and when my sister had her last baby, and we were there, it brought back a lot of memories because when my kids were born, they didn't even give the babies immunizations until they were 6 weeks old, right? And this was 5 years ago when we were at the birthing center with her, and the baby gets 3 shots at birth, and then another 3 or 4 before leaving the hospital. And I
That
was just outraged because, like, it just, they do so much or whatever. But I didn't, I was ignorant of the dangers of vaccinations, you know 27 years ago when I had my or 28 years ago when I had my first child. And they mm-mm, it was just a little bit of a different process. But as my kids got older, like right before high school, that's when I kind of got hip to it, and I was just able to get around it with for religious reasons,
Yeah, I don't know
because
with
of
this new law. Are they making it regardless to the religious exception, or like, I don't, I guess maybe I should if we're gonna discuss immunizations, before I said that I should have looked into it, but somebody just told me that they were making it a requirement for all newborn babies. So I don't know if they were trying to throw out the religious exception. I don't know how it is that we would be accepting of moving into an era where they can force you to give dangerous chemicals to your baby, but it's crazy.
QT1, are you saying there's a documentary on circumcision? I didn't circumcise any. I have all boys. I only have two girls, and I didn't circumcise any of my boys. I could never. I've seen a circumcision, and I couldn't bear the thought. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
My sister didn't get it done to my nephew because she said that she wanted him to be able to decide on his own. I did read something. I forgot where I was reading it, where they said circumcising boys actually takes away a significant amount of sensitivity that they
Yeah, it
have.
does. They
Mhm.
have so many nerve endings that they lose when you circumcise.
Yeah, I agree. And then also, okay, this is going to sound, but we're all adults here. Uncircumcised penises tend to be very shiny and glossy because the foreskin has oil glands that keep it moisturized, and so there's that aspect of it too. Um, it's like the skin has a purpose. It's not, but I think there's a lot of, because we are in a Judeo-Christian society and most of the world, they don't circumcise boys. It's unique what we do here in the States. I think people just don't realize that because we just assume that every place is like the United States. And we have all these beliefs about circumcision and sanitation and things like that that aren't really rooted in any actual science. So a lot of things I think we do habitually, not because we actually know. I hear a lot of fathers say, well, it was done to me, so I want my son, to be like me. Um, but with no real like thought process or research into it. I don't know. I just say watch a circumcision of a baby because they have videos of it, and then decide if you want that to be like one of your child's first earliest experiences. That's what I will say.
There was a story, I don't know if you saw it, Irene and Nyla, where on the doctors there was this dude who was uncircumcised, and he was on there because he had never washed under the foreskin, so he had like this thick layer of just like built up bacteria,
No,
and it
stop.
was so disgusting. Like it was the nastiest thing ever. But he said it was because he wasn't circumcised and he wasn't taught to he wasn't taught to wash his foreskin and how to clean himself, but he had talked about having sex with a lot of different women. And it's like, who wouldn't have smelled this was a black man, and it's like, who wouldn't have smelled that though?
Wait, that's so wait. So he was just a nasty person, though. I don't want us to blame that on the foreskin. I want us to blame that on he was just nasty because they're supposed to start retracting it, not when they're little, but once they get like toward puberty, the foreskin starts to retract, and obviously you have to clean it just like women have to clean, not in their vagina, you're not supposed to put soap inside of it, but like your vaginal lips, your inner and outer labia, you're supposed to clean that area. So that's
Hmm.
just a person with like poor sanitation. That has nothing.
I could read it. It says he was a 24-year-old bartender and he admitted to never cleaning his penis. His name is Zach, and it says claims to have girls throwing themselves at him and has bedded 40 women. Despite having sex for years, um, Doc Zach visited Dr. Naomi Sutton of E4's hit show The Sex Clinic. This is in Europe, it looks like. After feeling his penis had failed him when he became unable to finish due to his foreskin being too tight. He even though his penis may still be growing with his foreskin being unable to keep up. But an examination by Dr. Naomi revealed Zach had a serious case of smegma, I think they called it, buildup of dead skin, oil, and moisture, which was making his foreskin too sensitive to pull back. Zach, who also admitted to having a host of STIs, told the medic he was unaware he was meant to clean down below.
Yeah, see, that's poor parenting. That's
Like, this is disgusting because it's like, and they said Zach visited the clinic complaining of having a nasty smell as well as pain and irritation at the tip of his penis for the past 6 to 9 months. And you know what's most disgusting about this? The women who were having sex with him, because they had to have smelled him too. Like who are you having sex with? Probably white women.
I
Seriously.
just feel like I am an inspector, okay? So I know like if I'm gonna have sex with somebody, I even do it like I'm married and I do it. Like I look. I don't know. I wanna I'm like I need a visual of what is going to be inside of me. Like I have to know. I can't imagine engaging in sex with a man and you don't go back there. You're not retracting anything. You're not smelling anything. You're not curious. I heard a horrific story, y'all. Okay, this is a really gross story. And I'm not gonna out the chick that I shouldn't, although I doubt she'll ever see this video because this was like so many years ago. Like I don't know, we were like 17, maybe 16, 17. So she was going to have sex with this guy, because we were young, so they had gotten a hotel. She was like she was going to have sex with this guy, and she's like, we're at the hotel, da 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 da. Long story short, he had pulled his penis out, and she said you know she was suspect of it because of how he was holding it. And when she moved his hand, a part of it was gone. So I guess he had syphilis and hadn't got it treated early enough. And so you know how it gets the crater? And he was going to put on a condom and screw her like that. And I think that could be part of my paranoia why I always look. Because I'm like, I need to see. I need to know. That story has always haunted me. Like, I can't even imagine being in that position. Like, I would want to literally kill somebody if I were about to have sex with them and they knew they had a sexually transmitted disease and they were just going to just give it to me. I mean, they're like, we're just going to put on a condom and be okay with this.
Well,
Which,
he said he had a lot of them. Like they said he had a host of them though.
oh, really?
So if he has like multiple STIs, then it's like he's just sitting there knowing he has them, knowing he has a dirty foreskin dick, but he's not cleaning it. And not even telling them that, he has not telling him either that he has the disease. It's gross.
I've heard of men and women who purposely like have HIV or AIDS and then they purposely have sex with as many people as they can. I've heard of that too. Some people are just trifle like that. I guess they feel like they've been wronged and they're just going to wrong everybody in their path.
But he looks dirty. Like the dude looks like he has bad hygiene though. Because I feel like a person looking dirty has like a look, you know. They kind of look like they smell bad or like they don't wash their foreskin. So some people carry that look where you could just tell.
I always look under people's nails. Like, obviously, if you work construction and you're just getting off of work or you're a painter, like, they tend to have like hands that are rough around the edges. But like, if you're full undressed, like if we're going to dinner or something and your nails are dirty or nasty, I pay attention to that. That to me says that you have poor hygiene. There's no way that you took a bath before you came out to eat and that did not get addressed. Do you know what
Oh,
I mean?
well, at the very least, you're not washing your hands on a regular basis, and you should be doing that too.
Yeah, that's so nasty.
Some people just, I mean, but that dude said that nobody taught him, but it's like still, why wouldn't you take the initiative to find out? Just wash your dick. Like it's not even, but he said he was washing the shaft of it and his balls, but he just wasn't cleaning the foreskin because he said that it was too sensitive or something.
Because he was having an issue. The fact that it was sensitive should have caused him concern. Like if your private area hurts to do like regular stuff to it, that's the time to go to the doctor. Do you know what I mean?
Hold on, Katina said guys with white stuff in the corners of their mouth or dirty necks. If you don't stop. Okay, so guys with white stuff in the corners of their mouth or dirty necks is a no-go. I don't like that either. Or like if there's a guy and he has his teeth are dirty Like it's so gross when you're looking at somebody and they just have like layers of plaque in between their teeth and they don't look like they flossed or even rinse their mouth out with water in like years. It is
No,
so gross.
no.
Like I can't. That's the biggest thing that I can't do is somebody having like a dirty, nasty mouth. It's so gross.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm always looking at like little things. Like I look at their clothes, not like if they're expensive or not, but like if they're dirty. Because I know a lot of guys, okay, and if you guys do this in the chat, like I'm so sorry. I know I've heard you're not supposed to wash jeans and stuff, but like you know when an item of
You're
clothing,
not supposed to wash jeans?
that's what
How are they gonna,
yeah,
how are they supposed to get clean then?
but no, really, okay, well, granted, white people said this, but I actually saw this like on
Oh,
a
okay.
Levi's something or other, and they were like, they're you're not supposed to wash your jeans, and I know that people do wear like I don't wear pants, right? So for me, this is neither here nor there because I don't wear pants unless I'm in my house, but and like leggings and stuff. But anyway, um, I know that men often will like have a few, well, I don't know about often, but I know some men who have admitted to wearing like the same pair of jeans, like over and over the same pants, and then they just change their shirt and like the stuff around the jeans, and then they start to look grimy. So I can always tell when something's been worn like many, many times without a wash. And I find that to be pretty disgusting too.
It is really disgusting. What's the rationale behind not see, this is some people just have some nasty ways about themselves. Like, what is the point? What was their rationale behind saying that you don't wash your jeans?
No, that's what Levi's came out with that. I probably can find the like little thing I was watching, and they were like, "Yeah, you're not supposed to wash the jeans," and I was like,
So how do they get clean? Like, they just never get cleaned?
I don't know. Wait, no, wait. I'm gonna find it because you're not gonna believe me till you see it.
Yeah, that just it makes you so you're just supposed to have jeans with bacteria and dirt and are they saying dry clean them or just don't clean them at all?
Okay, I'm about to play it. It says so not washing your jeans is not going to be hazardous to your health. I'm not even kidding. Okay, let's go to Business Insider because they have like a little blurb on it. Let me see if I can play it. The Levi's CEO said it. I knew I wasn't losing my mind. Levi's CEO, he's the one that said it.
So this dude is literally in a chat room saying they don't cost much, just buy a new pair when they get worn. Really? Like this, I cannot.
So what are
You have to
saying?
have dirty dick if you don't wash your jeans. Like you just have to.
But wait, is he saying that you wear them and they get worn and then you throw them away?
And
Is
yeah, and then you never wash them, you just buy a new pair.
This is interesting. Okay, let me see if this is it because the one was an article. Let me see if I can play it.
Welcome to Brain Stuff. Not to get too personal, but when did you last wash your jeans? Whether you're wearing a pair of busted Levi's or brand new raw denim from some fancy boutique with a weird name, your pants are part of a debate that designers and customers alike have been having for decades. And it's this: when should you wash your jeans? Do you need to wash them at all? Let's look at the basics. Denim is a kind of cotton with a twill textile weave. In a twill weave, the thread called the weft, the crosswise yarn, passes under at least two warp threads. Those are the lengthwise yarns. In most jeans, only these warp threads are dyed, meaning that the other threads, the weft threads, remain white. That's why blue jeans are white on the inside. And that blue shade on the warp threads comes from a dye called indigo. Unlike some other dyes, indigo doesn't penetrate the cotton, Instead, it sits atop the yarn on the surface of each thread. And over time, molecules of the indigo chip away, causing the fabric to fade. And this fade is what makes each pair unique. So much so that the FBI analyzes denim patterns when tracking criminals. I mean, put your tinfoil hat on, they're watching your jeans. The more you wear a pair, the more broken in they become. And you'll see the appearance of fade patterns. Whiskers on the front, honeycomb patterns behind the knees, and so on. And here's where it gets... Wait, which show is this? Not all jeans are created equally, so let's divide them into two rough categories, washed and raw. Washed denim is just that, washed after dyeing to make the fabric softer and reduce shrinkage. Sometimes washed denim is artificially distressed to give it a pre-broken in or worn look. The fading of raw denim, on the other hand, happens naturally over time depending on the activities of the person wearing the jeans. So the longer you go without washing these jeans, the more pronounced that fading pattern becomes, personalizing the pants. Once you have a pair of jeans, you...
Wait, I'm mad he's saying personalization is one reason not to wash them. You can personalize your jeans.
Will hear numerous pieces of advice about caring for them. So much stuff. Most of this does not apply across the board. For example, some companies will ask you to wait at least 6 months before washing your jeans, because if you wash them early, the indigo will wear off uniformly, robbing you of those unique fade patterns.
Okay, so I'm curious, have any of you guys waited 6 months without washing your jeans? Is this like a thing that people do? I don't wear jeans. I don't think that jeans are comfortable, like me personally. So I wouldn't do it just because I don't find jeans particularly comfy. So I don't even, this is not a problem for me because I'm not wearing jeans at all. But is that like a real thing? Are people like not washing their jeans? Or is this not a real thing? That's what I want to know. Okay, Cynthia. Wait, jeggings, fanny packs, and girl Uggs? Nisha, prove that. Who wears jeggings, fanny packs, and girl Uggs? Men? I've never seen that. Forget personalization. Cleanliness is your main goal. You're not supposed to wash them for a minimum of 6 months, maybe never at all. According to, I'm just saying, Levi's CEO said it. I didn't, y'all.
I've heard of guys saying that they don't wash their jeans, that to keep them dark and crisp, that all they do is steam press them. They don't dry clean them. They don't wash them. I've heard guys say that before.
Well, at least steam press, like this, isn't that like a form of sanitizing them though? So that is okay.
So, because like I had a steamer for a long time, like when my kids were in school and I had to, steam their, iron all their clothes and stuff for the week, that little steaming presser board that you can buy for home. And I don't remember it having any sterilizing qualities.
Oh, okay.
So no, but I've heard of that.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it too.
Now it makes me want to throw up because I think that's disgusting.
Yeah.
But because like like when you're walking through places and like you go to the hospital or you sit down in a public seat at a restaurant, you sit down on people's couches and people's car, like, you know what I'm saying? It's so much gross stuff that happens. So do you really want someone that has a pair of jeans that they haven't washed for 6 months and then they go and sit on your couch or sit on your bed?
Oh, when you put it that way, that's
Think
even
about
nasty. But then you're always like, think about, like, realistically, we're constantly shedding skin. You put on lotions and oils and things, and like all of that is like rubbing and building up on the inside. I wouldn't even feel like, I would feel nasty putting them on myself. Like I wouldn't want to put my own body in. I don't even like if somebody sweats in the sheets, like my man is like 5 times my size. If he sweats in the bed because I like it hot and he doesn't, I change the sheets. Like I wouldn't even want to lay on my sheets after, after like we sweat in the bed or something like that. So I can't imagine like wearing clothing over and over and over and over and just never ever cleaning it. That is crazy, especially something that touches like your legs, your bottom, I can't. That's very, very nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
But yes, I'm telling you, I wasn't making that up. I know of some men that do it, and that's why I'm always looking at men's pants as like a judgment. I'm like actually judging them and judging their pants.
I've grown up a lot. I used to judge men by their shoes and their nails.
Oh, let's hope this is not a crazy person. Because with you and Sin here. Hello?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Hair, way it falls to your shoulders, way you giggle when someone.
Ugh. Y'all
What
bring
the
out
hell
the
was that,
trolls.
pervert?
Well, I don't know. He was saying something about giggling and hair. Oh, I can't see it this time. But I haven't had a troll call in yet. Oh, this is a different person. So let me answer their call.
Call from.
Snap Turtle.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Oh, it's Snap
Okay.
Turtle.
I've sent the caller's voicemail. Goodbye.
Oh.
So someone texted me, but it was the wrong people. They were like, I forgot the name that they used, but they were like, we have a 7 p.m. They were like, it was like an acting and modeling place. And she was like, something about come in at 7 o'clock. We have a spot for you or whatever. And I was like, wrong number, but I'm available at 7. And it's so funny because then now she's texting me over and over again.
Oh, well. Hi, baby. You're here really early. My man got home early today, y'all. Okay, you know how people are very, very rude?
Like me?
Yeah. You're rude, Nyla. But my man came early today, so I thought I would have an hour to sit with you guys. But since he's home early, y'all, I like y'all, but I don't like y'all that much.
I know that's right.
So bye.
All right, peace out.
Bye to y'all in the chat.